In the heart of Batangas, Philippines, lies a natural wonder that has fascinated travellers, scientists and locals for generations. Taal Lake. This vast expanse of water, cradled by rolling hills and volcanic ridges, captivates with its serene beauty and mysterious allure. The lake's tranquil surface often glistens under the morning sun, inviting visitors to pause and marvel at the breathtaking scenery that unfolds before them. The air here is often crisp and cool, especially at dawn, when a gentle mist hovers above the water, blurring the line between lake and sky. The surrounding landscape, lush and vibrant, is a tapestry of green fields, coconut groves and small villages that seem to embrace the lake in a protective circle. Taal Lake is actually a caldera, a vast depression formed by the collapse of land following a series of powerful volcanic eruptions thousands of years ago. Over time, this caldera filled with rainwater and groundwater, creating the shimmering lake we see today. Its surface, at times glassy and still, at other times rippled by gentle breezes, holds secrets of the Earth's fiery past. The water's clarity can reveal hints of the volcanic rocks beneath, and on certain days the lake seems to change colour, reflecting the moods of the sky above. At the very centre of this lake sits Taal Volcano, a geological marvel, a volcano within a lake on an island within a larger lake. This unique formation is one of the only few of its kind in the world, offering some of the most iconic and unforgettable views from the Tagaytay Ridge, where lush greenery frames the dramatic landscape. From this vantage point, the volcano appears peaceful, almost inviting. Yet its history tells a different story. The volcano's main crater, with its own small crater lake, is a striking reminder of the complex forces that shaped this region. The lake's calm surface acts like a giant mirror, perfectly reflecting the sky above and the volcano's silhouette. This panorama of peace and tranquility is deceptive, for beneath the surface lies a powerful force of nature, always present, always waiting. The mist that sometimes hovers over the water adds to the sense of mystery, hinting at the energy that simmers below. On quiet mornings, the only sounds are the calls of birds and the gentle lapping of water against the shore, but the silence is always tinged with the knowledge of what lies beneath. Taal Volcano is one of the world's smallest active volcanoes, but it is also among the most active. Over the centuries, it has erupted more than 30 times, reshaping the land and the lives of those who live nearby. The earliest recorded eruption dates back to 1572, but geological evidence suggests that Taal has been active for tens of thousands of years. Each eruption leaves behind new landscapes, craters, islands and rugged terrain, reminders of the volcano's immense power. Even when it appears to be sleeping, plumes of steam and the scent of sulphur remind us that this giant is never truly at rest. The 1911 eruption, one of the deadliest in Philippine history, claimed over 1,000 lives and forever altered the region's geography. More recently, the 2020 eruption sent ash plumes high into the sky, displacing thousands and reminding everyone of the volcano's unpredictable nature. Long ago, Taal Lake was connected to the sea, its waters salty and teeming with marine life. But as volcanic activity sealed it off, the lake gradually transformed into a freshwater haven. The creatures that once thrived in salt water had to adapt or perish, and today Taal Lake is home to unique species found nowhere else, a testament to nature's resilience and adaptability. The lake's famous tawilis, a freshwater sardine, is the only one of its kind in the world, having evolved from its saltwater ancestors. The transformation of the lake's ecosystem is a living record of the dramatic changes wrought by volcanic forces. Along the shores of Taal Lake, communities have flourished for generations. Fishermen set out at dawn, casting their nets in the hope of a good catch, while families tend to their daily routines with the volcano always in sight. The people here have learned to live in harmony with the lake and the volcano, drawing sustenance from its waters while respecting the ever-present threat that looms nearby. Their traditions, stories and livelihoods are deeply intertwined with the rhythms of the lake and the moods of the volcano. Festivals and rituals often pay homage to the forces of nature, seeking protection and blessings for the community. Taal's unique environment is a living laboratory for scientists and researchers. Here they study the processes of evolution, geology and adaptation, observing how life finds a way in the face of constant change. The lake and its surroundings are home to a rich diversity of plants, birds and aquatic life, making it a vital ecosystem and a source of inspiration for all who visit. Researchers monitor the volcano's activity, collecting data that helps predict future eruptions and protect the people who live nearby. The interplay of land, water and volcanic energy creates a dynamic environment where new discoveries are made every year. For all its beauty, Taal is a place where nature's power is a tangible reality. Warning signs dot the landscape and visitors are reminded to keep a respectful distance. The awe-inspiring sight of the volcano serves as a constant reminder of the delicate balance between human life and the forces of the earth. Emergency plans are in place and local communities are ever vigilant, knowing that the volcano's slumber could end at any moment. The respect for Taal's power is woven into the fabric of daily life here. Taal Lake and its volcano are a testament to the beauty that can arise from immense geological power, a place where tranquility and danger exist side by side and where every sunrise brings a renewed sense of wonder and respect for the natural world. The interplay of light and shadow across the landscape, the ever-changing moods of the lake, and the silent presence of the volcano create a scene that is both humbling and inspiring. Here nature's artistry and might are on full display, inviting all who visit to reflect on the forces that shape our world. Taal Lake's tranquility, long cherished by locals and visitors alike, was shattered in 2025 by a shocking criminal investigation that gripped the nation. News broke that the lake, once a symbol of peace, had become the centre of a grim mystery involving the disappearance of several cockfighters, known locally as sabongueros. Allegations surfaced that a powerful crime syndicate, with deep ties to the illegal cockfighting underworld, was using the lake as a dumping ground for their victims. A key witness bravely stepped forward, claiming to have seen sacks, believed to contain the bodies of missing sabongueros, being thrown into the murky waters under the cover of darkness. The chilling revelation sent shockwaves through the local community. Fish markets, once bustling with life, saw a sharp decline in customers as fear and suspicion spread. In response, the Philippine National Police and Coast Guard launched a large-scale search operation, scouring the lake for evidence. Several sacks were recovered and sent for forensic analysis, intensifying the investigation. The tragedy left the community in mourning. Families of the missing gathered by the lake shore, holding vigils and demanding justice, while the entire region struggled to come to terms with the horror that had unfolded in their midst. This modern-day mystery serves as a stark reminder that the greatest threats to our natural wonders often come not from nature itself, but from the darkness within humanity. Beneath the tranquil surface of Taal Lake lies a submerged history, a world that once thrived above water but now rests in silence below. Few realize that beneath these gentle waves are the remnants of entire towns, their stories hidden from view, waiting to be rediscovered. These lost towns are not just relics, they are echoes of a vibrant past, shaped by centuries of trade, faith and resilience. This is a lost world of ancient towns where people once lived, worked, and built their dreams. The lake now conceals the echoes of bustling communities, their streets and homes preserved in watery stillness. Local legends speak of church bells that can still be heard on quiet nights, tolling from beneath the waves, a haunting reminder of the faith that once anchored these settlements. These once thriving communities were swallowed by the lake after a series of powerful volcanic eruptions. The land, once fertile and full of life, was dramatically transformed as the volcano's fury reshaped the landscape, forcing people to abandon their homes and livelihoods. The eruption of 1754, one of the most catastrophic in Philippine history, buried entire villages under ash and water, forever altering the fate of the region. Historian Dr. Yiga Guilera confirms that the former sites of Lipa and other settlements now lie beneath the water, their locations marked only on old maps and in the memories of local elders. These maps, passed down through generations, are treasured artifacts themselves, windows into a world that once was. These sunken settlements were once vibrant trading posts, bustling with activity and alive with the sounds of commerce. Merchants from distant lands would dock their ships here, exchanging goods and stories, making these towns important centres of trade and culture. It is said that the markets of Old Lipa and Tanawan were famous for their spices, textiles, and the laughter of children playing by the shore. But the volcano's immense power changed everything. In a matter of days, the land collapsed and entire towns were submerged, their histories sealed beneath the lake's surface. The disaster was so sudden and complete that little could be saved. Survivors told tales of fleeing in the darkness, carrying only what they could, as the earth trembled and the sky rained ash. Today, this hidden history adds an air of mystery to Taal Lake. It has become a vast underwater archaeological site, drawing the curiosity of explorers, historians and divers who seek to uncover its secrets. Some divers claim to have seen stone altars and stairways, while others whisper of golden artifacts lost to the depths. In the 1980s, diver Thomas Hargrove ventured into these depths and captured haunting images of stone structures, silent witnesses to a forgotten era. His photographs offered the world a rare glimpse into the lost towns beneath the waves. Hargrove's accounts inspired a new generation of local divers eager to uncover more of the lake's secrets. Scattered across the lakebed, ancient relics and stone artifacts serve as proof of the dramatic events that erased entire communities. Each artifact tells a story of life interrupted, of families displaced, and of a civilization lost to nature's power. Some say that the spirits of those who perished still guard these relics, their presence felt by those who dare to explore the depths. Taal Lake is more than just a scenic wonder. It is a time capsule of a lost civilization, holding secrets that continue to fascinate and inspire all who learn of its hidden depths. The legends, the ruins, and the memories of the lost towns beneath the waves ensure that their stories will never be truly forgotten. Beneath the tranquil surface of Taal Lake, science reveals a story of shifting earth and volcanic fury, towns swallowed by the restless caldera, their ruins now hidden beneath the water. Yet for generations, locals have whispered of a powerful curse that lingers over these waters. The legend tells of chieftain Gatlines who clashed with a Spanish priest over the fate of his people and their land. In a moment of anger, the priest is said to have uttered a curse, vowing that the town would be destroyed by the very waters they depended on. Soon after, the earth shook violently. An eruption split the ground and the lake surged, engulfing the town as if fulfilling the prophecy. Around fires and along the lake shore, villagers passed down this tale, weaving it into their identity and collective memory. Scientists, meanwhile, point to Taal's volatile geology. its magma chambers, shifting tectonic plates, and the natural cycle of eruptions and subsidence that shape the land. But for many, the curse is more than a story. It's a way to understand loss, resilience, and the unpredictable power of nature. In Taal, science and legend intertwine, each offering a lens to make sense of the volcano's enduring mystery and might. In October 2024, Typhoon Krine, one of the most powerful storms to strike the Philippines in recent memory, unleashed its fury on the Taal region. With wind speeds exceeding 180 kilometers per hour and relentless sheets of rain, Krine was a force of nature that few could have anticipated. The skies darkened as the typhoon's massive cloud bands swept over the volcano and the surrounding lakeside towns, turning day into night and sending powerful winds howling through the area. For hours, relentless rain battered the land, overwhelming rivers and streams and setting the stage for disaster. Agoncillo, a town nestled on the lower slopes of Taal volcano, was among the hardest hit. Flash floods surged through its streets, carrying away vehicles and debris, while thick, fast-moving lahars, volcanic mud flows, engulfed homes and farmland. Residents watched in horror as the water and mud rose rapidly, leaving little time to escape. Many families recounted how they scrambled to higher ground in the dead of night, clutching children and elderly relatives as the floodwaters chased them from their homes. Some survivors described the terrifying roar of the lahar as it swept past, obliterating everything in its path. The storm's unyielding downpour saturated the already unstable volcanic soil, triggering massive mud flows that cascaded down the hillsides. These mud flows, a deadly mix of ash, rock and water, swept away everything in their path, turning once fertile land into a river of destruction. In some areas the mud reached as high as the rooftops, trapping livestock and making rescue efforts perilous. Emergency responders braved treacherous conditions to reach stranded residents, often wading through waist-deep mud and debris. Homes were swept away in minutes, and entire livelihoods were destroyed as fields and crops disappeared beneath thick, suffocating mud. Farmers lost not only their harvests, but also the tools and equipment they depended on, leaving families with nothing but the clothes on their backs. One farmer, Mang Ernesto, shared how he watched helplessly as his rice paddies vanished under a torrent of mud, his year's work erased in a single night. When the storm finally passed, the aftermath revealed a wasteland of grey mud and debris. Residents returned to find their homes buried or destroyed, familiar streets unrecognizable, and the landscape forever changed by the disaster. The air was thick with the smell of wet earth and loss, as families searched for any belongings that might have survived the deluge. The event was a stark reminder of the compound dangers faced by those living near an active volcano, where the threat of eruption is ever present and natural disasters like typhoons can turn deadly in an instant. For many, the fear of another disaster lingered, as the ground remained unstable and the risk of further mudslides persisted. Recovery has been painfully slow. Residents, many of whom lost everything, have spent weeks digging out their homes and streets from layers of heavy mud. The process is exhausting, both physically and emotionally, as families try to salvage what little remains of their former lives. Volunteers from neighbouring towns and aid organisations arrived, bringing food, water and medical supplies, but the scale of the devastation was overwhelming. The typhoon not only washed away houses and possessions, but also shattered the community's sense of security. For many, the foundations of their homes are all that remain, a stark symbol of loss and uncertainty about the future. Children's toys, family photos and cherished heirlooms were buried or lost forever, deepening the emotional toll. Yet, in the face of overwhelming adversity, the resilience of the community has shone through. Neighbours have come together to help one another, sharing food, shelter and hope. Aid organizations and volunteers have arrived, offering support and helping to clear debris, rebuild homes, and restore a sense of normalcy. Stories of heroism emerged, like that of ailing Rosa, who sheltered a dozen neighbours in her sturdy concrete home, or the youth groups who organised nightly patrols to keep watch for further landslides. For the people of Taal, Typhoon Krine was not just a storm, but another chapter in their long history of survival and perseverance. As they rebuild, their spirit endures, determined to rise from the mud and face whatever challenges the future may bring. The scars left by Krine will not soon fade, but neither will the courage and unity that carried the community through its darkest hours. Typhoon Krine's destruction was measured in human loss. For many, the storm took not just homes, but loved ones and memories that can never be replaced. Flash floods swept people away, some lost to Taal Lake. Maria, a mother of 3, still searches for her youngest son, whose laughter once echoed along the lakeshore. Search teams worked tirelessly, but some families found no closure. Each night the lakeside fills with quiet prayers and whispered names, hoping for a miracle. Floreno, an elderly man, was lost trying to save his livestock. His courage is remembered by neighbours who recall his gentle care for every animal. His family clings to hope for his recovery, seeking peace. They gather at the water's edge, sharing stories and holding on to the belief that love endures beyond loss. Recovering bodies from the lake is difficult due to its depth. For many, the uncertainty is the hardest part, never knowing if their loved ones will return. The search for missing victims has ended, leaving families in limbo. Yet, hope lingers in every candle lit and every flower left by the water. The lake is now a graveyard, a painful reminder of loss. But it is also a place of remembrance, where stories of love and hope are kept alive. Floreno's story represents the deep cost of living in Taal. And in every family, every survivor, the spirit of hope endures, waiting for peace and for healing beneath the surface. Deep within the waters of Taal Lake lives a remarkable species found nowhere else on Earth. The Tawilis, a freshwater sardinella that has become a symbol of the lake's unique biodiversity. Originally a saltwater fish, Tawilis, adapted to Taal's freshwater environment after volcanic eruptions, sealed the lake from the sea thousands of years ago, a true marvel of evolution. This adaptation allowed the Tawilis to thrive in isolation, making it the only freshwater sardinella in the world. Tawilis is not just a biological wonder, it is a cornerstone of local cuisine and a vital part of the economy, cherished for its delicate flavour and cultural significance in Filipino households. However, its confinement to Taal Lake makes it extremely vulnerable. With such a limited habitat, the Tawilis is now listed as endangered, its population declining at an alarming rate. Overfishing, pollution, and the introduction of invasive species have all contributed to its decline, threatening the delicate balance of the lake's ecosystem. The loss of Tawilis would not only mean the extinction of a unique species, but also disrupt the food web, affecting other fish, birds, and the livelihoods of local communities. Adding to these threats, Taal's volcanic activity poses a constant danger. A major eruption could devastate the entire Tawilis population in an instant. In response, scientists and conservationists are working tirelessly to monitor the wild population, restore habitats, and raise awareness about the Tawilis' plight. Conservation programs include breeding and releasing Tawilis, protecting spawning grounds, and educating local communities about sustainable fishing practices. Strict fishing regulations, habitat restoration, and water quality improvements are now being enforced to give the Tawilis a fighting chance. Saving the Tawilis is about more than protecting a single species. It means preserving the entire Taal Lake ecosystem for future generations. Taal's fishing communities face a relentless struggle for survival. Fishing is not just a livelihood here, it's a way of life, a tradition passed through generations. Fishermen like Rolly Arends face diminishing returns and economic hardship as the once abundant waters yield fewer fish each year. The Endangered Tawilis, a fish unique to Taal Lake, is now a rare catch, barely profitable for those who depend on it. A closed season for fishing, meant to protect the dwindling fish population, adds further economic strain on the community. The younger generation shows little interest in continuing the fishing tradition, drawn instead to modern pursuits and opportunities. The future of this traditional livelihood is uncertain, as the aging fishermen wonder who will take their place. Yet, amidst the challenges, there is resilience. The community comes together, sharing knowledge and resources, determined to keep their way of life alive. The question remains, who will carry on the tradition when the current generation retires? The answer lies in the community's enduring spirit and their commitment to preserving their heritage. Despite the ever-present threats, the people of Taal remain, deeply bonded to their home and to each other. Generations have grown up in the shadow of the volcano, learning to read its moods and respect its power. The volcano is a living entity, sometimes gentle, sometimes fierce. It is both a provider and a threat, shaping the land and the lives of those who dwell nearby. This connection is woven into faith and tradition. Every year, villagers gather in chapels to pray for safety, holding processions that wind along the lake shore, asking for the volcano's mercy and the lake's bounty. Fishermen rise before dawn, making offerings to the lake, flowers, food, whispered prayers, believing that respect for the water's spirit brings good fortune and safe passage. When the volcano erupted in 2020, the world turned its gaze to Taal. For some, the absence of tourists was a blessing, a rare moment of peace to reflect and rebuild. During the pandemic, the lake became a sanctuary. Families found solace in its calm, drawing strength from the familiar rhythms of water and wind. The lake offers more than food. It provides a sense of community. Children play by the shore, families share meals of fresh fish, and neighbours support each other through hardship and celebration. Taal's story is one of deep interconnectedness, of people, lake and volcano living in harmony and tension. Each shapes the other, bound by history and hope. Through eruptions and calm, hardship and joy, the people of Taal endure. Their spirit, like the volcano, is unyielding, a testament to the enduring bond between humanity and the natural world. Beneath the peaceful surface of Taal Lake lies a geological marvel. Taal volcano is not just a single peak, but a vast caldera, an ancient bowl-shaped depression formed by powerful eruptions thousands of years ago. Within this caldera sits the iconic volcano island, crowned by a crater lake, one of the world's rare examples of a lake on an island within a lake on an island. This unique formation has drawn scientists and adventurers alike, fascinated by its layered history. Each eruption of Taal adds another chapter to the story written in rock and ash. These eruptions have shaped the landscape, creating new landforms and nourishing the soil, while also serving as a living laboratory for volcanologists. The volcano's frequent activity helps researchers better understand the complex forces that drive eruptions and predict future hazards. It is a place where science meets wonder, a reminder of the Earth's restless creativity, and the delicate balance that sustains both danger and beauty in the heart of the Philippines. Despite Taal's reputation for danger, the lake and its shores are alive with a remarkable tapestry of life. Lush greenery frames the water, harbouring resilient plant species that have adapted to the region's unique blend of volcanic soil and fluctuating conditions. Mangroves and aquatic plants provide shelter and nourishment for countless creatures, while the surrounding forests echo with the calls of birds such as the Philippine duck and the white-browed crake. Beneath the surface, Taal Lake is home to species found nowhere else on Earth. The most famous is the Tawilis, the world's only freshwater sardine, whose survival hangs in delicate balance. Alongside the Tawilis, the lake teems with freshwater fish, snails and tiny crustaceans, each playing a vital role in the ecosystem. Even as volcanic eruptions and human activity threaten their existence, these plants and animals persist, testament to nature's resilience and the interconnectedness of life. Every leaf, feather and fin tells a story of adaptation and survival at the edge of fire, reminding us that even in the shadow of a sleeping giant, life finds a way to flourish. Taal Volcano is more than a geological marvel. It is a living symbol woven into the very fabric of Philippine culture. For centuries, its dramatic silhouette has inspired countless legends and folk tales, whispered from one generation to the next. Local myths speak of enchanted beings, lost lovers and ancient spirits dwelling within the lake's depths and the volcano's heart, transforming Taal into a place where the natural and supernatural intertwine. Artists and writers have long been captivated by its beauty and mystery. Taal's iconic form graces canvases, from the masterpieces of 19th century painters to the vibrant works of contemporary Filipino artists. In literature, it serves as a backdrop for stories of courage, tragedy and hope, its restless presence mirroring the resilience of the Filipino spirit. Films and documentaries often return to Taal, using its breathtaking vistas and turbulent history to explore themes of identity, survival and belonging. From school textbooks to postage stamps, Taal is a familiar sight, a cherished emblem of the nation's heritage. Its image evokes pride and nostalgia, a reminder of home for Filipinos around the world. Through the lens of folklore, art and media, Taal transcends its physical form, becoming a powerful symbol of the Philippines' enduring beauty, creativity and unity in the face of adversity. Tourism has long been drawn to the enigmatic allure of Taal Volcano and its shimmering lake. Each year, thousands of visitors arrive, eager to witness the breathtaking vistas, experience the warmth of local hospitality, and stand at the edge of one of the world's most unique volcanic landscapes. For the communities surrounding Taal, tourism brings invaluable benefits, new jobs, thriving small businesses, and a boost to local economies. Homestays, boat tours and guided treks provide vital income, helping families build better futures and deepening the connection between visitors and the people who call Taal home. Yet, the influx of tourists is not without its challenges. Fragile ecosystems can suffer under increased foot traffic, waste and the pressures of development. The delicate balance of lake and volcano is vulnerable to pollution, habitat loss and the strain of overuse. For many residents, the rising cost of living and competition for resources can cast a shadow over the promise of prosperity. In recent years, a growing awareness has sparked a movement towards sustainable tourism. Local initiatives now encourage responsible travel, promoting eco-friendly practices, limiting visitor numbers, and supporting conservation efforts. Tourism operators collaborate with scientists and community leaders to protect Taal's unique biodiversity, while educational programs foster respect for both nature and culture. The story of Taal and its people is still being written. By embracing mindful tourism, visitors and locals alike can ensure that the volcano's wonders endure, not just as memories but as a legacy for generations to come. Taal Volcano is as unpredictable as it is beautiful, a restless titan whose past eruptions have left scars on the land and in memory. As the world around the lake continues to change, so too does the risk posed by this sleeping giant. Scientists warn that future eruptions could be more sudden and powerful, threatening not only the communities on Taal's shores, but also those far beyond. In the face of these potential threats, disaster preparedness has become an urgent priority. Early warning systems, evacuation drills and community education programs work hand in hand to ensure that residents and visitors know what to do when Taal stirs. Local governments have developed detailed evacuation maps, designated safe zones and coordinated rapid response teams, all designed to save lives when every second counts. At the heart of this vigilance lies the power of science and technology. High-tech monitoring stations ring the volcano, measuring tremors, gas emissions, and even the subtle swelling of the earth. Satellites and drones provide real-time data, while experts at the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology analyze every sign of unrest. Their work is a race against time, translating whispers from deep below into clear warnings above. The future of Taal is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the bond between people, science and the volcano has never been stronger. Through preparedness, innovation and respect for nature's might, the communities around Taal are not just surviving, they are learning to thrive at the edge of fire.